set to get underway. The crowd has been loud. Warm-ups came, obviously Minnesota being the home team. Fans really excited for this one. Winner to the Sweet 16. Katie Myers back to serve. We are underway. Miner will set. Holly Campbell on the slide. Stanford up 1.
Really good for Stanford to get Campbell involved early. Last night, Campbell got involved, but late in the match, she kind of got going. And so important for them to establish her as an offensive threat, the senior for the Stanford Cardinal.
Campbell had 7 blocks last night also, highest on the team. Alex Woolje on the serve. Schaffmaster will set. Miabe with the tip. And point to Minnesota.
Yeah, and you saw there Stanford just over the center line there, violation. You know, these teams will kind of work their way into the match. They'll kind of find their footing here and get their rhythms. Early on in the match, though, where you're seeing both teams come out and, you know, certainly with a game plan ready to go.
Schaffmaster, the Gopher setter, back to serve. That's a service ace.
A really nice serve by Melanie Schaffmaster there, and you can see her working Katie Baird. So Katie Baird is very efficient. She's a very effective offensive threat for the Stanford Cardinal, and so you can see Katie Baird's front row. They're going to make her work. They're going to make her pass, and then she's got to go hit.
2-1 Gopher lead. And Schaffmaster back to back.
Yeah, great job by Melanie Schaffmaster. She can get on runs from the service line, and we've seen her do that throughout the year. Here she kind of puts it both between Baird and between Bevan, and again, you're going to see her kind of work those two.
And Meredith, these teams met back in September. Minnesota on the road, they won in 4 sets. As these two teams meet again here in a big-time spot, anything that you really take away from that match when that happened a few months ago, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can take a bit away. Certainly you've got some of the same players here, but you know, it is different. It is certainly different than it was a few months ago. That was early preseason, both teams finding their rhythm. You know, similar lineups, teams had a little bit different lineups, but like, for example, Minnesota's had a few different folks on the left side. Miabe did play in that match against Stanford early in the year. So I think you can take a few things away. You can certainly learn player tendencies, but these teams have no doubt grown a lot since then.
And obviously Cece McGraw didn't play yesterday, not on the floor again. How does that affect Minnesota?
Yeah, having Cece unavailable is probably tough for Minnesota, though no doubt they got, you know, a pass and serve in with her today, probably the same thing yesterday, maybe some practices without her, not sure. But, you know, I think the good news is Rachel Kilkelly is a familiar face on the floor. So it's not like, you know, they have an unknown there. They've got Kilkelly. Certainly they'll miss McGraw, especially the energy that she brings to the court, but Kilkelly is a familiar face.
Looks like Hugh McCutcheon may challenge this. Here's another look. Miabe on the outside. The referees ruled that it was out. Couldn't tell there. McCutcheon is actually asking if there's a touch.
Some early kind of contention among the coaching staff and the refs here. So some, you know, touch calls, non-touch calls. We'll see kind of how this one shakes out. But you can tell, I mean, early on, these teams want to establish themselves. Both of the coaching staffs want to make sure that these teams get out and get out front fast. And so Coach McCutcheon choosing to use a challenge very early on for his team.
And good performances last night, obviously, from both teams. Stanford beating Iowa State in 4 sets here, and then Minnesota beating the South Dakota Coyotes in 3. What'd you see from Stanford last night?
You know, I think Stanford, they missed the tournament last year. Stanford missed the NCAA tournament last year, and so I expected them to kind of come out gunning and kind of, you know, get back into it. The set that they dropped, I mean, Iowa State is a very emotional team, and they can get a bit streaky, and they were really, really building momentum over that set. Stanford just really was poor offensively, very poor offensive production, hitting less than 200 as a team. And that's not going to win you sets. And so what I liked out of Stanford is that they bounced back from it. They came back, they played their game, they went back to what they were, you know, successful with early in the match and really stuck to it.
So right now, 3-3. It's hard to see on the replay there if there was a touch or not. We did have some lengthy reviews yesterday, too. We'll take another look at it.
Hard to see anything there. All Minnesota players certain about it. You can see there Coach McCutcheon shaking his head. Certainly a long review here.
See which way this one goes, but obviously every point crucial in that. I mean, two really good teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, these teams, these coaching staffs actually have a lot of connections and a lot of sort of history with one another. So Coach McCutcheon and Coach Hambley are good friends. And you know, Courtney Thompson played on the national team and the Olympic team for a while. So these staffs, you know each other pretty well. And all right, so indeed confirmed touch. So call is reversed. So Coach McCutcheon happy with the use of that challenge. Going to make sure he checks his lineup here and he's got the right server back.
Now serving for the Gophers.
There's Heidi Miabe back to serve. Ogilvy sets. Here's Katie Baird on the left side. Now Schaffmaster will go in the middle.
And that violation there on Minnesota by Stephanie Samity. And again, it's been kind of a strange start. So I think both teams are just trying to settle in, settle down, get moving.
And as a player, you played in a lot of big matches. I mean, as each tourney game goes on, do the nerves just ratchet up, or are you able to find just kind of a calm place as a player?
Yeah, I mean, I think you certainly can let yourself get nervous, but as long as you have a good game plan, I always felt like if I had a good game plan and I knew what my mission was, I could stick to that and always bring me back to the game plan and kind of push myself through the match that way versus letting myself getting too emotionally wrapped up in it.
Jenna Wennis on the board with her first kill of the match. Miner this time sets. Stanford gets one back. Kendall Kipp, first kill.
Yeah, Kendall Kipp was very productive last night for the Stanford Cardinal, both in the front row and in the back row. So important that they get her involved. And you saw a lot last night in both matches, both teams really attacking sort of the line in these pin situations where they're really taking advantage of that outside hand of the blocker.
And Wennis again on that left side.
Yeah, great swing there by Jenna Wennis. Kind of a broken block coming at her, and she stayed disciplined. You know, actually, just as I'm talking about attacking line, she goes cross court. But a good swing there off of a flying hand by Campbell, excuse me.
Samity back to serve. Might be the first Gopher player ever tonight to reach 2,000 kills. She is the all-time leader for Minnesota as Wennis tries again from the left side. Miner this time will set. Sammy Francis, the freshman, gets one.
And Sammy Francis, that was she is one of those players who last night really attacked the line. She's really working that line as an outside hitter. She's getting nice sets. Miner's pushing that ball out there. We'll see if she continues tonight and if Minnesota makes any adjustments.
Kipp serves. Kilkelly receives. And Wennis again, she's heating up.
Wennis is doing a brilliant job, and Melanie Schaffmaster is making fabulous set choices. So you can see there, this is another broken block for Stanford, or a malformed block where Campbell's just trying to fly out there. Wennis is going to take advantage of that every single time. You've got to put a better block in front of her.
7-5 Gopher lead. Miner this time sets to the middle. Kipp.
Yep, and there we see Kipp with that back row attack like we talked about. She did that a number of times last year and found great success doing so. Minnesota has a strong back row attacker in Stephanie Samity as well. So, you know, these teams are probably used to seeing that in practice, but they're a really nice one-on-one for Kipp, and she takes the angle.
And Kendall Kipp last night, Meredith, she was great. I mean, second on the team behind Baird with 20 kills.
Yeah, absolutely. Both Kipp and Baird were incredibly productive last night and definitely led their team to the win. Miner wasn't afraid to go to the hot hand with either of them. And there you see that Stephanie Samity back row attack like we just talked about.
Here's Katie Myers back to serve. Back and forth early on. Ogilvy sets. Now Samity's going to try from the right side. Nice dig by the Cardinal. Miner again. Baird on the left side. Baird's got another.
Yeah, Katie Baird is going to be productive. We expect her. She's the leader of kills for the Cardinal for a very good reason. And so Minnesota has to know that she is going to get her kills. It's just about containing her when you can contain her and putting her in as many bad positions as they can put her in.
Baird this season was 3rd in the Pac-12, her conference, in kills per set. So she's gotten it done all year. Miabe receives the serve. Samity again. Luge with the dig. Here's Baird. And Baird now has 4.
Really great swing there by Katie Baird. She's really mixing it up here on offense. She's got great vision. So the last kill she had, she kind of went down the line deep. This one, a really high cross-court shot that goes off of Huseman's hand and just out of reach of Rachel Kilkelly.
Luge again. Schaffmaster over to Miabe. Miabe splits the block.
That's a really good set by Schaffmaster there. It's a pretty quick set coming outside, so that's where you can see Miabe, as she goes to swing at this, has a big seam because it's a pretty quick set coming out there, and Vicini just can't make it all the way out.
Schaffmaster drives it over. Minor over to Baird. Huseman gets a hand on it, battle at the net. Comes Stanford again. Samity able to keep it in play as Wennis just has to send it over. Another battle at the net. And Minor does a nice job there.
Yeah, really nice job by the freshman to get up and take care of that, that overpass situation. Miabe just caught a bit off guard. She says to her team, that's my bad, but a really nice job by Cami Minor to get up there and take care of that.
9-9 early on in set number 1. Schaffmaster to Samity.
Beautiful, beautiful set by Melanie Schaffmaster. It's all she could do with that ball, but she gets a hand on it and puts it up. And of course, Stephanie Samity going to come at it and bring some thunder. So you can see there, boom. Nice job by Schaffmaster to save that.
Samity's second kill as Miabe goes back to serve. Baird receives. Now Minor over to Baird again. As Kilkelly digs in the back row. Schaffmaster will set. There's Samity on the right side. Stanford gets a piece of it at the net. Now Baird will try. The Gophers can't hang on.
Katie Baird, again, really, really productive out there for Stanford. Minor is going to her a lot in these situations, but it doesn't matter because she's killing the ball every time. So Minor is going to continue to push that ball outside. Minnesota's defense got to be a little bit more ready. Katie Baird has really done a lot of using of the hands, deep shots. Minnesota's defenders, that floor defense needs to make sure that they're deep enough to receive.
Baird thumps it over. Kilkelly gathers. Jenna Wennis on the left side. Kip got a piece of it at the net. Here's Samity with the tip. And finds a hole.
Stephanie Samity adjusted really well there. Stanford's defense probably upset at themselves for not picking that up because this was a kind of a poor set by Schaffmaster, but Samity able to take advantage of it. A little bit of miscommunication on the Stanford side. They wish they had that one back for sure.
And a kill in the middle, that time Vicini.
Yeah, Vicini coming around front, really nice swing there, and a nice job by Cami Minor to put her in a good position. I will talk about set choice a lot because the setters are, we talk about them as a quarterback of their team. They're the ones who are putting their hitters in position against a block. And both of these, Minnesota's got a great blocking team, so Minor's got to really do a nice job of putting her hitters in positions to be successful, and so far she's definitely done that.
This one back over the net. The Gophers will play it. Here's Wennis. Kilkelly will set for Wennis again, and that's a kill.
Yeah, Jenna Wennis is doing a really nice job of being more aggressive on the left side. We've really seen her come into her own this year. She played last year as a freshman and now in her sophomore campaign, I think has gotten more and more aggressive and aggressive in the right situations. You don't want to be aggressive just for being aggressive's sake, but she's doing so in situations where she knows she can attack and is a little bit more strong.
Wennis really strong season as Schaffmaster tries to find the corner but pushes it too far.
Smart move by Schaffmaster there. I mean, Stanford was there to pick that up, but pushing that deep, oftentimes you can catch teams off guard with that. And Schaffmaster not afraid to be offensive when she wants to be.
And I know it's early, Meredith, but this is really what we both expected. I mean, 12-12, just back and forth so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both teams can get streaky, and we saw that last night. We saw Stanford start their match really strong and then get really poor in the set that they dropped. Minnesota started really strong, then they gave some back to South Dakota. So both teams can get very streaky, and it'll be interesting to see kind of how they push and maintain momentum, especially at the end of a set.
Wenis, who has 5 kills, serves. Minor sets. Good dig by Wenis to keep it alive. Here's Miyabe. Ogilvie digs. Myers on the overpass. That won't fall. Stanford will reset. Now Schaffmaster over to Miyabe again. She splits the block.
Minnesota needs to take advantage of those types of situations just like they did. Stanford floor defense is very good. Their blocking is not so much. And so if Minnesota keeps pushing and if Schaffmaster keeps putting her hitters in situations where they have one-on-ones or big seams in the block, that is how they're going to be successful.
This one grazes the net, gets over. Holly Campbell with a nice swing.
Yeah, good swing by Campbell there. And again, Minor putting her in a good position to be successful. Important that they establish her. When you establish a middle, I talk about establishing a middle. When you establish a middle, that means the middle blocker on the other side of the net has got to be paying better attention. They've got to make choices. They may have to stay with the middle. That could leave a seam open for the outside later in the match. And so that's why I think it's important for teams to spread their offense out.
So Minnesota up 15-13 early on over Stanford. Highly anticipated match. We're going to head to our first break. We'll be right back here on ESPN+. In Minneapolis, Johnny Connor alongside Meredith Nelson-Urim. And right now, 15-13 lead. Meredith, what is standing out to you here?
Yeah, both teams are very, very productive on offense. Stanford hitting 480 thus far in the set. Minnesota hitting 423. So not a lot of blocks, not a lot of defense that's really stopping either team. You've got a lot of production out of a lot of players too. So Minnesota's got 3 players: Stephanie Samity, Heidi Miyabe, and Jenna Wenis. And then Stanford actually's got 6 players with kills. So doing a good job of mixing it up on both sides.
So service error for Minnesota out of the timeout.
And serving for the Cardinal, number 1, Alex Luget.
Alex Luget enters again, now back to serve. Sophomore out of California. Wenis receives. Miyabe swings into the net.
Top ball. Heidi Miyabe should be able to handle that, though. Minnesota can get streaky with their passing, and so there you saw a pass that was kind of errant. And while this is a tough ball for an outside hitter to hit, they get a lot of those balls that just aren't perfect, kind of the junk that's got to come their way. They've got to do a good job of handling that.
So all tied up at 15. Schaffmaster over to Miyabe. Miyabe gets the kill.
And there she takes care of it by taking advantage of a malformed block. You can see there she takes advantage of Minor's hand and sweeps that ball out of bounds. You'll see on the replay here, Minor's hand is just not strong enough and comes back. She's not pushing back to the center of the court.
Baird receives the serve. Stanford able to keep control, and Baird gets the kill. Kind of a weird point there.
Yeah, kind of a strange point. I mean, Minnesota needs to take care of that overpass. That's the second time now that they haven't taken care of an overpass. You should treat those as free points. You should get after it, take advantage of it. Not able to do so, and if Baird's going to take a swing, you got to be worried.
Yeah, already really effective for Baird tonight. Up to 6 kills as Samity notches her 4th.
Yeah, great swing there by Stephanie Samity. Again, a big hole in that Stanford block. Minnesota has got to continue to make that happen and then take advantage of it wherever they can.
So the Gophers back up 1 as Minor sets. Another battle at the net. Minnesota gets the point.
Yeah, Jenna Wenis done a nice job there being available and taking care of that. Ellie Huseman, we talked about her a lot last night. She did a really nice job blocking. She's gotten her hands on a couple here as well. Nothing's gone down, but she's certainly providing a good presence up at the net for the Golden Gophers.
Baird again with the reception. Minor back to Baird, but too far.
Yeah, and an unusual error by Katie Baird there. Minnesota really should take advantage of that because that does not happen often. I talked last night about Katie Baird being a really efficient outside. She does not make many errors out there. So that one kind of an unusual error, and Minnesota should be sort of to feel the momentum build. Now they've got to stay focused and stay disciplined.
So Stanford coach Kevin Hambley takes the timeout. The 6th head coach in Stanford history, and obviously running a really good program. He's won some titles. I mean, just both these programs here. It's been a fun match so far, but as far as Stanford goes, what's the conversation like right now as they try to get back in this set?
Yeah, I think they're specifically going to talk about what offensive play they want to run here coming out of the timeout. That's always an important thing to focus on. And then I think they're going to talk about, if I'm them, I'm talking about my blocking. Their blocking is just not performing well for them. It's leaving way too many openings for Minnesota and allowing Minnesota to be far too efficient. That is, I think, really what's holding Stanford up. I think their floor defense is hanging in there, and they're doing a good job offensively. They've just got to be a bigger force at the net.
And then as far as Minnesota goes right now, obviously up 3, what's the conversation like? How are they going to try to close out this set, Meredith?
I think the focus here is all about them maintaining discipline and maintaining sort of what they're doing mentally. They can sometimes have a mental lapse in these types of situations. Any team can, and that will hurt them because Stanford will not allow them to have a mental lapse and get away with it. So they're talking about being disciplined with their block, and they're talking about being, where their floor defense needs to be positioned, those kinds of things.
Minnesota 6 straight seasons in the tournament, 9 of 10 seasons in the tournament under Hugh McCutcheon. So out of the timeout, 19-16 Gopher lead here in set number 1. Minor over to Baird. Now here's Samity from the right side, notches another.
And that is especially good by Stephanie Samity, that off-speed shot, because that was a very well-formed block in front of her from Stanford. And that happens. You see Jenna Wennis, who's the Minnesota outside, has to go all the way across the court to pick up that tip, effectively taking herself out of the offensive portion of the play. And so that ball we all knew was going to Samity, but she's so crafty and has such good vision.
And so when that happens, Shaftmaster knows she's going to Samity as that one goes right above her head.
Yeah, certainly she does, and she probably feels very confident doing so because, like I said, Stephanie Samity's court vision is really, really good.
So Stanford again takes another timeout. Minnesota back-to-back points, but more importantly for the Gophers, they're on a 5-0 scoring run right now.
Yeah, absolutely, and a really, really good job of them staying composed, them staying disciplined. Stanford had to take this timeout here. Coach Hambley had to have this one because you can't let it get any further. If Stanford wants to come back in this set, they're going to have to plug away a point at a time, and now is their chance. They cannot give Minnesota any further threat.
And last year was the only year for the Cardinal that they missed the tournament in their program's history. So they're back this year. 18-10 overall, 13-7 in the Pac-12. But obviously set number 1, really big. They're going to try to get that one on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think they missed the tournament last year. I think it was a number of injuries and sicknesses and all sorts of crazy things that were happening last year, obviously in a very, very crazy environment. This year they're back and going 18-10 on the season. They are a young team. They've got a young squad. On their starting roster, they've got one senior. Everyone else they've got a junior, they've got some redshirt sophomores, they've got some freshmen playing, and so part of this just could be inexperience on their part. Doesn't mean they're out of it by any means, but you might see some kind of blips because of that.
Right, Stanford as a program, obviously, very well represented in the tournament, most national titles of any team. But as far as this team goes, there are a lot of players that have not played in the tournament.
Yeah, that's right. You've got a lot of them first-time tournament. Certainly Kevin Hambley and his staff, though, are well-versed and have a lot of experience. And obviously, Coach Hambley won, I think, only the 7th coach in history to win back-to-back NCAA titles here at Stanford.
So the Gophers on a 5-0 scoring run out of the timeout. Houston takes advantage.
Miabe doing a nice job from the service line, too, for the Golden Gophers. Stanford not passing well right now, and that has been a big problem for them here in this scoring run. The Gophers right now as a team hitting over 400 as Miabe serves again. And that's an okay miss. I talked about this last night. I got a little soapboxy last night about missed serves because everyone, you hear the whole crowd, and missed serves are okay if you're aggressive. It's a balance between the aggressive serving and then you're going to take a few misses with it. That one just barely clips the tape and doesn't go over. And after a really good run by Heidi Miabe.
Baird, the 6'3" outside hitter on the serve. Samity from the right side catches the net, and Stanford gets another.
Yeah, Stephanie's saying, my bad, I got that one. I thought maybe it had hit a Stanford player, but clearly nobody else in the arena thought so, and they'll come back to her. It was a nice set by Schaffmaster in terms of providing Stephanie with a big seam in the walk.
Miabe digs, Schaffmaster sets, tipped by Jenna Wenis. Now Miner sets in the middle. Huseman blocks it for the Gophers. And Huseman finds the hole.
Yeah, good job there by Huseman to be available option in transition. She, again, being a force at the net, she's really doing a nice job blocking. Important for then, after she blocks, for her to get up and become a force in transition like that. Just barely grabbed that ball and killed it.
5-point Gopher lead, 23-18 in set one. Miner sets. Kibbs blocked. Wenis digs, and Minnesota able to keep it alive. Fans like that. Miner again over to Kipp. Kipp gets the kill.
Really, really good swing by Kendall Kipp. That was a good block put in front of her, but she swings high hands, is able to catch the fingertips of Jenna Wenis. And Kendall Kipp really doing a nice job for the Stanford Cardinal in her junior season.
So Stanford looking to go on a run here to get back in set number one here. This grazes the net. Here's Wenis. And Wenis gets the kill.
Great job by Jenna Wenis there. Minnesota not passing incredibly well right now, and you can see Stanford really attacking Heidi Miabe on this serve. But again, Wenis being smart, using her sort of shot selection and doing a good job for the Minnesota Gophers.
So set point here, 24-19 Gopher lead. They try to take set number one. Here's Kipp from the right side.
Beautiful set by Miner there. Kipp does a nice job of taking advantage of a big wide open line, but a good set choice by Miner in that situation.
So Kipp will go back to serve. And it's a service error to end set number one. Minnesota takes it 25-20.
Really good job there by Minnesota to stay disciplined, to stay focused, and to keep pushing, putting the pressure on Stanford. Stanford just came up short. We'll see what happens in set two.
So Minnesota takes set number one, 25-20. We will head into set number two here in Minneapolis on ESPN+. Minnesota takes set number one over Stanford at Maturi Pavilion in Minneapolis. Johnny Connor alongside Meredith Nelson-Urim. And Meredith, offensively for the Golden Gophers, that was an impressive first set.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Minnesota hit 395 that first set, which is really impressive against a good Stanford team. Stanford's blocking, like I said, has been a little suspect. It isn't serving them well. It's not doing what they need it to do. But Minnesota's also done a great job. Melanie Schaffmaster has distributed the ball really well. Jenna Wenis with 6 kills, Heidi Miabe with 5, Stephanie Samity with 5, Ellie Huseman with 2. So really using all the weapons available to them.
And Stanford comes out of the break. Do you sense any changes coming strategy-wise, or how are they going to try to win set number two?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they need to do, offensively, Stanford was really strong too. So it's not like they have a big problem on offense. It's just their defense isn't keeping up, and they're not able to stop Minnesota. And I don't know if it's them keying on specific players, hard to do against Minnesota where they've got a number of producers, or if it's just them kind of continuing to push and not letting themselves get into such a lull like they did in the first set.
The Cardinal all-time against the Golden Gophers, 10-2, 4-0 in the tournament. One of those 2 wins for the Gophers, however, as we talked about, came in September this year.
Yeah, that's right. And Gophers had a really a tougher preseason this year than in other years. I mean, they played a number of top 25 teams, including in that Pac-12 Big Ten Challenge where they faced Stanford. So that kind of work and playing in the Big Ten all year will prepare you, for a good postseason, and it'll prepare you to be competitive.
Right, and we talked a little yesterday, but I mean, both of these conferences, the Pac-12 just loaded with really good teams, and the Big Ten as well. So obviously both these teams are accustomed to playing in high-pressure, big-time matchups.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why it's so important to look at certainly a team's record, but also things like the RPI and things like that, where you're kind of sensing how tough the competition is for each team. I mean, Stanford 18-10. You wouldn't say that's an incredibly great record, but they play against really tough teams all year long.
About to get underway for set number 2. Lulje on the serve. Schaffmaster to Myers. Myers drops it in.
There's a veteran tip out of a middle if I've ever seen one. So Katie Myers, the senior middle blocker for Minnesota, very smart to just gently place that in a spot where she knew no defenders would be.
Myers will go back to serve. It's her first kill of the match. Minor over to Baird. Schaffmaster just has to play it over. Now here's Stephanie Samity with the swing, but it's wide.
A rare error out of Samity there. We see her make a few errors a match, but not usually in that situation, especially hitting out of the back right there. Kind of a strange play though, kind of broken up with Minnesota. But Stanford here, we expect them to really buckle down and take advantage. They've got Baird in the front row, along with Vicini and Minor.
Miyabe from the left side. Now Baird blocked at the net. Minor will go right back to Baird. Schaffmaster gets a piece of it. Here's Samity again, and that one's way into the crowd.
That's more of what we expect out of Stephanie Samity when she's hitting that right back swing. That was just very powerful, and that got on them fast. You can see, again, Minnesota's block, though, doing a good job kind of containing Baird there, not letting her put the ball down so easily.
I'm sure most fans kind of the sides of the court aren't really expecting too many souvenirs coming at them.
That's right. You got to be heads up here in Minneapolis.
And a fun crowd on hand, Meredith, but you can just through warm-ups, you could get the sense from the crowd that there's some nervous excitement, right? I mean, big-time match. Obviously, Minnesota really plays well at home, but just a much different feel for the tournament, in my opinion, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. And, these folks haven't had a chance to watch a live tournament game in a couple of years, really, right? So the tournament was all in Omaha last year, kind of in the bubble. No outside fans allowed for the first number of rounds. And so I think most of these folks are just excited to be watching NCAA tournament games again.
3-2 Gopher lead. Miyabe serves, but it's too far.
Her second service error, so we'll see if she can kind of buckle down. Obviously, last time she went on quite a run before she made that error, but 2 in a row. So now her team will need to pick her back up. Heidi needs to kind of buckle down, make a good pass for her team. I would expect Stanford to serve her.
Baird from Indianapolis, the jump serve. Huseman in the middle. Vicini gets a piece of it. Now Francis on the left side, but she misses wide.
Yeah, just wide. I like that shot choice by Sammy Francis because, like I mentioned, she had been going down the line so much, which it had been effective for her, but that really sharp cross court is a hard one to dig. That's gonna fall in for her. She's just got to keep swinging.
Francis will try again. Samity gets a piece of it. Schaffmaster over to Wennis. Wennis gets the kill.
That was a really crafty little shot by Jenna Wennis. It looks like she was going to swing at it really hard, then just took a little bit off of it, swiped it off the hands of Kendall Kipp.
Kilkelly serves. Wennis digs. Here comes Stanford. Minor sets over to Francis. Wennis will try again. Baird digs. Here's Wennis again. Long point here. Kendall Kipp on the right side. Wennis swings, but misses.
You know, it's a good aggressive swing by Jenna Wennis. She's been doing really well. That's, I think, maybe her first error of the match. Schaffmaster not getting the ball there. So you can see she bumps it to both balls there to Jenna Wennis. Schaffmaster's got to, you know, either the team's got to dig a little bit higher for her, or she's got to work a little harder, get her hands on that ball. She'll put up a better ball than just a bump set.
Ogilvy serves. Here's Samity. Powerful swing.
Yikes! She's so strong there, and when you give Samity a seam like that, and Melanie Schaffmaster puts a perfect rhythm ball up for her, you're kind of leaving your back row in distress for sure.
All Big Ten, All-American Stephanie Samity leads the team in kills. And Kipp with the attack here.
Yeah, a rare error that by Kendall Kipp. Rachel Kilkelly doing a really good job of staying disciplined, not playing that ball that was out. Again, Minor doing a good job of mixing things up. Stanford needs to, you know, made a few too many errors here early on, but it's still early.
Stanford hitting just 184 right now through about a set and a half. Kilkelly with a nice dig for the Golden Gophers. Here's Wennis on the left side. She drops it in.
Really smart tip by Jenna Wennis. I'm really impressed with Jenna's maturity and growth over this season. That was a really smart tip to find that, especially when she was off balance, find that opening on the court.
So the Gophers up 8-4 early on in set number 2. We'll be right back after the Stanford timeout on ESPN+.
I love wheels. Colorful wheels, glossy wheels, two-piece wheels, blackout wheels, luxe wheels, exotic wheels, gold wheels, bronze wheels, flashy wheels, steering wheels. This wheel, this wheel, this wheel, big wheels, bigger wheels, mini wheels, massive wheels. No matter what wheel I'm feeling, eBay Motors has the right parts at the right prices. Let's ride.
Just this.
When you pay with Credit Karma Money, you could win instant karma, which makes your purchase free.
Got it for free with Instant Karma.
And free always feels good.
Got it for free with Instant Karma. What? Got it for free with Instant Karma. Mom? What are we doing?
Is this
Got it for free with Instant Karma.
your feet on this?
Got it for free with Instant Karma. We know.
That's the feeling of instant karma, only from Credit Karma Money.
Stanford down 8-4 early on in set number 2, and Rachel Kilkelly for the Golden Gophers, Meredith, doing a really nice job tonight.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, Kilkelly not playing libero normally for the Golden Gophers. She's normally a DS. McGraw unavailable tonight. And Kilkelly's doing a nice job of making some big digs and some big plays for the Gophers, especially recently here in this set. You can tell the Minnesota Gopher crowd getting really excited about that. They love good defense here. And she's doing a nice job filling in.
Gophers right now on a 3-0 scoring run. Minor over to the freshman Francis. Schaffmaster to Samity. This is blocked. Stanford gets one back.
Really good job by Campbell there. She had better vision. She was able to close up that block with Francis. And again, this is one of those situations where Wennis has to come all the way over to pick up that short little tip. And so then she's either, you know, the only option for Schaffmaster is the middle. She can run Wennis inside or go back row to Samity. And most people will expect that to go back row to Samity.
And Wennis finds the hole there. That's her 9th kill.
Yeah, Jenna Wennis being really productive. Hitting over 400 now for the Golden Gophers.
So right now, Wennis leads the team with 9. Samity has 7. Miabe has 5. On the other side, Baird leading Stanford with 6, and Kipp has 4. An overpass, Miabe tries. Myers on the slide, blocked by Francis.
A really big block by Francis. Great job by her to penetrate over and push that hand back to the middle of the court. I think we talked about this last night, but Francis is tall. She is a tall athlete. She is 6'6", and so running a slide against her, you either need to go high hands or you need to find a way around that block, because if you hit into it, it's going down.
Boulger serves. Schaffmaster over to Miabe. Miabe finds it.
Beautiful swing there by Heidi Miabe to find those high hands for Stanford. It was a pretty good block put up by Campbell and Minor, but you can see here that Heidi Miabe swings high off of those hands down that line.
The Gopher middle, Myers now serving. 10-6 Minnesota lead in set number 2. And it's an ace.
There we go. Katie Myers is a very good server. We talked about this last night. She went on quite a run last night, and she's a very good server. Does a nice job of hitting that float serve, but it's pretty quick, and so it can get on a team pretty quickly.
Minnesota right now has a team 3 aces so far this evening. Ogilvy receives that one. Here's Holly Campbell. Miyabe blocked it.
Wow, beautiful block by Heidi Miyabe. Honestly, I thought she was going to get used. I thought Campbell was going to be able to swipe it off of Miyabe's hand out of bounds, but she just gets enough of that left hand over there to push it back into the center of the court.
And you mentioned that. We've seen Wennis go to that kind of shot a few times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. It's really, really hard to defend for the backcourt a ball that's hit off of the hands anywhere. And so, you know, it's risky because you're hitting into the hands. You can get blocked, but it's just so hard to defend. I find it very effective.
Miscommunication there on the Gopher end. Francis will end up the kill.
It's interesting. I wonder if Stanford might, you know, put a few more shots over like that. We saw them early in the match be really successful hitting high hands and deep into the court. Now they've had a little bit more successful. Where they've found success has been sort of in these off-speed shots or keeping Minnesota off balance. You wonder if they continue to head more in that direction.
12-7 now. There's Baird again. And Baird gets another.
Yeah, and Katie Baird, really important for her to get hot to lead this Stanford team. Obviously, they depend on her from the offensive point of view to be really productive. And so it will be important for her to get hot if they want to go on a run here and be competitive in set 2.
Baird right now up to 8 kills.
Bevan with a rare error there. So Stanford's got a 2-hitter rotation right now. So Schaffmaster serving in the back, and then they've got Baird and I think Vicini's up front row with her right now. And then Miner, of course, the setter in the front row.
Baird receives the serve. Miner sets. Vicini tries to drop it in. Good dig by Samity. Now Baird trying for another kill. Wennis gets it in the back row. Now Miyabe plays the overpass.
Heidi Miyabe's done a really nice job for Minnesota this year. We talked about her last night. She was kind of a role player for Minnesota up until this season, but an experienced player. She's a senior and absolutely doing a great job of showcasing her talent. The fans here love her, and she's doing a really good job for this Gopher squad.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Meredith, I mean, she's one of the fan favorites here. The crowd just erupts every time she gets a kill.
Absolutely.
Here comes Stanford. They're down 6. Vicini misses too far.
You can really feel the match pulling away from Stanford right now, and Minnesota building momentum. Important for Minnesota to not get too comfortable, though. Stanford's too talented. They have too many good athletes. You can't get too comfortable.
So 15-8 Gopher lead. Minnesota took set number 1, 25-20. So for the coaching staff of Stanford and their players, how are they going to try to get back in set number 2?
I mean, it's really important, and this is maybe part of them being a younger team, in that, you know, you can tell that they're kind of down on themselves right now. Visually or visibly, they look kind of just down. They look defeated, and they can't be defeated. You can't have that kind of an attitude regardless of what your position is in the set, especially being down one full set. And so I think Coach Hambley and the staff are probably talking to them about reasons that they should feel confident, reasons that they should, you know, feel like they can build the momentum back and earn some points back to close this gap.
And yesterday, Meredith, we talked a little bit about this. There's a look at Jenna Wennis with Stanford. They did struggle last night against Iowa State in set number 2.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They hit negative in set number 2 against Iowa State. Right now, hitting 158 on the match, it looks like. So not doing particularly well right now from an offensive point of view. And again, it's a lot of that just has to do, I think, with their ability to be confident in what they're running. I think Miner's putting up good balls. I think she's making good set choices. Stanford's just got to find a way to terminate.
Stanford just hitting 155 right now. Minnesota up 7.
It'll be interesting here to see what Stanford comes out with coming out of the break, what play they run, who they go to. one person has got to step up on their team and start to kind of be the emotional leader for them to bring them back to close the gap.
And it's probably got to be either Katie Baird, obviously, or Kendall Kipp, right? I mean, Kipp, she had 20 kills last night, too, so she's been a little quiet.
Yeah, that's right. Both of them have been a little bit quiet. And you know, I think it's not like they haven't had their chances, and they have done a nice job of scoring when they have had chances, but there we go. Kipp gets one out of the back row there off of a triple block from Minnesota. So she's saying, here we go, let's go. Maybe Kendall Kipp can be that leader for them as they try to come back here and close the gap.
And we talked a little bit about this earlier, Meredith, but Kipp really got going last night when Miner fed her a lot.
Yeah, that's right. You know, she hits a really good ball. She's got good vision, and Miner seems to be able to find her in a lot of situations, and I think that serves them well.
Huseman in the middle, able to get a point off the block.
Really good job by Huseman. Minnesota's middles, we've talked about this, are not incredibly productive on the offensive side of the game, but Huseman doing a good job of continuing to be an option here. After the pass, especially as a middle, you kind of love that when you get to take that free ball and then go back and attack.
So Minnesota up 7, 16-9. Baird on the left side, Samity with a nice play.
Good job by Stephanie Samity there. So I mentioned, you know, you're seeing Stanford kind of pull out more of these off-speed shots and these tips, and sometimes that is effective. But for Katie Baird, she was doing so well at the beginning of the match by hitting high hands and hitting that deep court shot. I'd like to see her go back to that.
Miyabe on the serve. Lulge receives. Baird will try again, but the Gophers starting to run away with set number 2.
Yeah, just long here. And you can tell Katie Baird kind of in a funk right now. Her team trying to pull her out of it. That's okay. She's got to keep swinging. She's gonna find the court.
Miner this time will go to the right side, and Huseman able to find it in the left corner.
Ellie Huseman doing a nice job of being a force at the net. That is her sole responsibility. She does a really good job of that for the Golden Gophers, and they're no different. Just taking care of that ball, getting it out of there.
The Gophers now on a 4-0 scoring run. They're up 10. Played by Lulge. Kilkelly with the nice dig. Now here's Samity. Samity gets another, that's her 8th.
Yeah, and Samity takes advantage of Kendall Kipp there. So in this rotation 1, where Stanford has got, you know, Baird, who's normally an outside hitter, is playing on the right side, and then they've got Kendall Kipp out there on the left side, who normally plays right side for them. So perhaps not used to blocking over there.
Ogilvy back over the net. Huseman in the middle, but Schaffmaster a little weird set.
Yeah, that was a poor set by Schaffmaster. She knows it. We all know it. Everyone knows it. That was a poor set, but that's okay. She's trying to force the middle. We talk about Minnesota not using their middles much, and they need to continue to work that. Stanford, on the other hand, not doing a great job passing right now. They're really struggling passing and not giving Kipp balls so she can sort of set and to put her hitters in a good position.
Baird serves. Played by Miyabe over the net. Francis does a nice job.
Yeah, Sammy Francis certainly trying to be that emotional leader for her team. She's a freshman on the squad, but you can see her getting really fired up. She did the same thing after she got that killer block earlier. So a good job by Francis.
Stanford right now winners of 6 in a row. 5 obviously in the regular season. The 6 last night against the Cyclones. Samity blocked by Francis.
Yeah, great job, Sammy Francis. Sammy Francis is just what the Stanford squad needs right now, so they should go with her, run with it, use that emotional energy, use her productivity both on defense and on offense to kind of close this gap. They've got to push points one at a time.
So 3-0 scoring run right now for the Cardinal. And Baird with the ace.
And just as excited when she sees the ball going out of bounds. So a good job here. Baird doing a nice job of going on a little run here. Important for Minnesota to buckle down. You know, they obviously have a very comfortable lead, but they still need to buckle down and finish this set.
So the scoring run now up to 4. Miyabe handles that serve. Here's Wenis on the left side. What a swing.
A really, really good swing. Johnny, you're exactly right. She pushed that one right down the line. Important for the Gophers to break out of that rotation and move on. We've got Kill Kelly at the service line now.
Wennis in double digits now with 10 kills. And Kip gets one back.
Yeah, good job going to Kip there. Kip is going to be productive. We talked about her, you know, last night when Stanford lost their set to Iowa State, when they dropped that set, Kip, I think, only had maybe 2 kills or something like that. They just weren't using her. They've got to use her if they want to continue to push forward.
Kip hitting 286, up to 6 kills now. As Schaffmaster will go back to Wennis. Ogilvy receives. Francis on the left side. Now Schaffmaster again to Wennis. Good dig in the back row by Baird. And Ogilvy can't handle it.
Wow, really good job by Jenna Wennis going high hands there, high hands off the block, high hands off the back row. But I do want to call out Katie Baird earlier in the set made a beautiful dig off of a really hard Wennis swing. Katie Baird doing a good job of playing defense back there.
22-14 Gopher lead. Minor over to Kip, and Kip now has 7.
There we go, Kendall Kip again. I think that's a really key play for the Stanford Cardinal if they want to be more competitive here. They've got to utilize her. She's a very, very strong athlete for them.
Kip serves. Wennis again, but Stanford will get the point.
Yeah, a little double contact call there for Melanie Schaffmaster. So Stanford will take advantage of this one. They've got to continue to push points. They've got Kendall Kip serving now. They've got 2 hitters back in the front row with Sammy Francis and with Campbell.
Last 10 points now, Stanford on a 7-3 run, trying to really claw back into set number 2. Wennis hangs on. Minor over to Francis again. Schaffmaster gets a piece of it at the net. Now she'll set for Samity, and Samity drops it in.
It's just a really, really, really good shot. We talked about this last night as well. Stephanie Samity really good at hitting this sort of line shot, if you will, out of the back row. You can see she swings wrist away, kind of pushes that thumb down and pushes it into a spot. The defense is never ready and expecting that one.
So 23-16 Gopher lead. Miyabe on the left side splits the block.
Miyabe splits the block, exactly. You know, Stanford, I mentioned that they're not passing really well. Right now they're passing in a 2-passer rotation, so they've got Ogilvy and Baird, and that is it. And Jenna Wennis is going to need to continue to be aggressive from the service line, but she's done a great job thus far of doing that.
So set point here in set number 2, 24-16 Gopher lead. Minor over to Francis. Good dig by Jenna Wennis. Holly Campbell in the middle, able to knock it down.
Holly Campbell just taking care of that one, not being too aggressive, just making sure she takes care of business, and Heidi Miyabe just unfortunately couldn't get there. But a good job by Campbell to take care of business.
Crowd now on their feet, looking for the Gophers to close out set number 2. Alex Lulje on the serve. Schaffmaster to Miyabe. This is off the hands of Minor. Now Baird on the left side, able to get one right over us.
That's right. That is a good swing by Katie Baird. Now, what she needs to do and what her team needs to support her to do is to use that to build momentum, both here in the second set, but also as they head into the third set. That is a great swing. She should build confidence from that.
Baird up to 9 kills, just hitting 143 right now. Lulje serves again. Powerful serve. It's a service error again to end set number 2.
Really strange. I mean, ending these sets on missed serves from Stanford, especially when they haven't really missed all that many serves all set. It's strange, but you know, they've got to buckle down and come back at it in set 3 here if they want to continue to push this match on.
So Minnesota up 2-0 over Stanford. They're looking to make it to the Sweet 16 here on ESPN+. Minnesota up 2-0 over Stanford, looking to advance to the Sweet 16. Johnny Connor alongside Meredith Nelson-Urim. And Meredith, I mean, right now for Stanford, it's do or die time. How are they going to try to get back into this match?
That's exactly right, and they have got to do so by being more effective and more efficient on the offensive side of the ball. Stanford, just like last night, this happened to them last night, right? They won the first set, they hit really well, and then the second set they hit negative. Same thing here. They didn't win the first set. They played really well, just couldn't pull it out, and then the second set just hit negative, hitting negative 158. they can't do that. You can't do that in the NCAA tournament, especially against a team like Minnesota. So Stanford has got to find their way offensively with their leaders in Baird and in Kip in order to be competitive here.
And then defensively for the Cardinal, I mean, Minnesota right now hitting over 330. How can they try to slow down that attack?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all starts with their blocking. I talked about it a little bit earlier in the match. Their blocking right now has been kind of suspect. They've been leaving big seams for Minnesota to hit through, and Minnesota's just too good a team. We're in the NCAA tournament. If you're going to give a big seam to anybody, you're not going to be successful. And so Minnesota taking advantage of what they're seeing from the blocking side of things for Stanford, and Stanford's got to buckle down there too. But, you know, I think if I'm Stanford, I think, wow, we hit really well and played well in the first set and didn't pull it out, but they were still close. And so they can't give up on themselves.
Gophers took set number 1, 25-20. They just finished set number 2 off 25-18. About to get things underway here for the third. Here's a look at Heidi Miyabe. She's up to 8 kills. And Ellie Huseman, I mean, we talked a little bit about her, but she's done a really nice job tonight.
Absolutely, she has. She's been a really big force for Minnesota at the net, and isn't necessarily racking up all the blocks, but is certainly being a force for Stanford to have to deal with.
Crowd gets quiet as Myers begins set number 3. Baird receives the serve. She'll get the set here on the left side, but she misses deep.
Yeah, again, we talked earlier, you know, Baird doesn't normally make this many errors. She's just really not playing like herself tonight, and I don't know if the Minnesota block has kind of gotten in her head, or if she's just not liking the set she's getting, or what's going on. But I would love to see a bit more confidence in her, because she's such a good player, and she has the capacity to do this.
Miner over to Baird again, looking to get her going. Miyabe with the dig. Miner, nice play defensively. Here's Baird. Myers with the dig. Here comes the Golden Gophers as Samity sends it back. Long second point here. Schaffmaster sets to the All-American. We're going to go back to Baird again. That time she gets it done.
There it is with that high hand shot by Katie Baird. It took her a number of swings to get it done, but she nailed it there with the high hand shot. Just impossible for Minnesota to defend. Kind of coming off of one foot. Not able to grab it. Good job by Baird. Now she's going to head back to the service line.
Baird now up to 10 kills. Schaffmaster dumps it.
Catches them off guard. Melanie Schaffmaster, like I said, she's not afraid to be offensive. She's not afraid to take that second ball and just catches Stanford's defense off guard. At this point in the set, though, it's early. Stanford shouldn't worry about it. They should just move on, pass a good ball next, and go for it.
And is that something that you think Schaffmaster sees at the serve, at the time of the serve?
I don't necessarily think she sees it at the serve. I think she kind of has a good idea of where the blockers are and whatnot, and you can kind of tell with the pace of the pass and those kinds of things. So certainly it's a feel thing. And I'm not going to pretend to know what a setter can feel, because I was never one of those.
So Gophers now up 3-1. Miyabe, the cross-court swing. Over to the right side to Kendall Kip. Miyabe gets a piece of it at the net. Now Wenis tips. Kip is going to try again. And Miyabe blocked by Kip.
Really good job there by Kendall Kip. She's doing a good job of continuing to be aggressive. She's swinging hard. She's blocking well. She's doing a good job for the Stanford Cardinal. Heidi Miyabe, you know, she's done a really nice job for Minnesota. Made an error there on a good block by Kip.
Ogilvy serves. Miyabe plays it. Samity on the left side block. Kilkelly able to keep it alive. Good dig by the Cardinal to hang on. It was Francis. Samity drives it home.
Absolutely. I mean, you're going to give Stephanie Samity that many chances, she's going to kill the ball. But Francis did a nice job of keeping Stanford in that point with that dig. And listen, even prior to that, Rachel Kilkelly did a great job covering her hitters. You know, oftentimes we talk about the hitters and the big kills and the big swings like that, but there's so much more that goes into a point.
So 4-2 Gopher lead. And that one misses wide.
Yeah, Sammy Francis a little too excited on that one, so she could see Samity was not there. Stephanie Samity in the arena here shaking her head. She was not there for that block at all. And sometimes when that happens as a hitter, you get so excited. You're used to seeing this block in front of you, now you're not there, and she just overturned on it.
Minor over to Francis. Samity blocks it out of bounds.
A good job. I don't know. Minor has kind of caught Samity off guard both times there. So a good job by the freshman setter to put her hitters in positions. You can see Samity trying to dive in, then whoops, and Sammy Francis takes advantage of that one.
Kip on the serve, powerful serve over the net. And Samity able to get another kill. She's now got 11.
Yeah, Samity swinging high hands there. She did a really nice job of taking advantage of a block, the kind of weak block here. Francis and Campbell are right there, but takes it off that right hand of Francis, and she says, oops.
Samity now 7 kills away from becoming the first Gopher ever to reach 2,000. There's Campbell in the middle, able to drop it in.
That's poor defense by Minnesota. They are usually going to pick that one up, and maybe it's because McGraw's not here. Maybe they're just a little flat-footed, but I think that's a really good touch by the block, and Minnesota doesn't pick that one up. They should pick that ball up every single time.
So Luget enters and will serve. Wennis plays it and gets it right back, gets the kill.
There she is, Jenna Wennis, just really producing for the Minnesota Gophers, and obviously Schaffmaster not afraid to go to the hot hand here. You can see Wennis kind of powers in, big seam again. Minor tries to dive in and take care of that opening, but just can't hang.
Lead now up to 3. There's Kip from the back row, smashed.
Great swing by Kip. I actually really like that set by Minor too. You know, Minor's just a freshman, and there are times where she sets a ball and it's pretty obvious where that ball is going. There, I actually thought she was going to set the ball back to Campbell, and instead sets that pipe, that bick to Kip. Nice job by Minor to make that happen.
Kip up to 8 kills. And Schaffmaster, another nice play with the left hand.
You remember Schaffmaster tried to do that dump earlier in the match and just pushed it too far out of bounds. There she finds success.
Wennis serving. Leads the Golden Gophers with 12 kills. Baird with the roll shot, Miabe. Good play defensively. Here's Samity. Samity drops it home.
Stephanie Samity is so strong and so powerful out of the back row, and Gopher fans here have become accustomed to that. They still get excited about it, many of them on their feet here for what was a really incredible swing.
9-5 early on in set number 3. Here's Kip again. Samity can't hang on.
Yeah, Kip bringing a little thunder of her own from the back row. I really appreciate that out of Kendall Kip. She's getting her team going here. That's also a very powerful swing. And you know, that's I think early in the women's game, you didn't necessarily see as much back row attack. You saw it more in the men's volleyball game. And over the last, 5-10 years, you've seen a lot more back row attacks out of these really incredible athletes. And I think it just makes the game so much more dynamic.
Yeah, it's fun to watch Kendall Kip out of Newport Beach, California, the junior. But, last night we talked about it against the Cyclones. She really got going from that back row.
Yeah, absolutely. And when a player can find the rhythm and when you find the right pace of set for them, it is really tricky for defense to manage.
Schaffmaster to Myers in the middle. Minor able to keep it in play. Kip now tries off the hands of Miabe. Here's Wennis, and Wennis drives it home.
Just back row attack after back row attack after back row attack. But my gosh, when it's as effective as it is, why wouldn't you do it?
Serving for the Gophers, number 23, Katie Myers.
And Wennis just having a really fantastic season for the Golden Gophers, second on the team in kills this year.
Absolutely. You know, the other thing about this back row attack, and you saw it in that replay, is you've only got one blocker up so many times. When teams are better blocking teams, they're able to get 2, even 3 blockers in front of it, and then it's much less effective. But there, where you're swinging one-on-one, you're going to score.
Especially for these hitters out here. Yosemite gets another, but Minnesota now up 4, and for Stanford, I mean, they really got to bear down and get back into this.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, 4 points. We'll wonder if, Coach Hambley's going to take a timeout here. He wants to have a chat with his team. Smart thing to do. This is exactly the time you need to take that timeout. You do not want to give Minnesota a greater lead, and so important for them to sit down and chat about it.
So 11-7 Minnesota lead in set number 3. They're trying to close out Stanford. Here, stay with us on ESPN+.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Stanford really needs to make sure that they are staying mentally tough and be confident in what they've got. You see a couple of players are bright spots for them, but you can really tell they're being affected by Katie Baird. Katie Baird just not having the match that she wants to have right now, not hitting particularly effectively. And so I think that's really affecting the Stanford team. But they've got great athletes all across the floor, and so they need to know that even though Katie Baird might not be as efficient as they want her to be or as she wants to be, they can still be successful. There you have Kip swinging from the outside, a great example.
And for the Cardinal, number 17, Sammy
So
Francis.
lead cut down to 3 out of the timeout.
Katie Baird.
Boulger exits. Francis back in for Stanford. There you see some Cardinal fans right behind the Stanford bench. Schaffmaster again. What a dig by Ogilvie in the back row. Really impressive stuff. Now Kip on the right side, but what a play.
Great job by Ogilvie, and Kevin Hambley really pumped up about that point, as he should be. Elena Ogilvie did a really nice job. You know, she was like, Melanie Schaffmaster, you're not going to get me another time on that dump, and then a really good job by Kip to swing hard and get after it.
Baird serving. She misses.
Unfortunate miss there for Stanford. You know, they would have liked to go on a longer run, but it's okay. They can step back with a pass. So they've got Baird and Ogilvie back there, and then they've got 3 hitters up front, and Francis, Kip, and Vicini.
Schaffmaster, the Gopher setter, serving. 3-point Minnesota lead. Minor over to Kip, blocked by Miyabe at the net.
Good job by Miyabe and Huseman to be there, putting up a big block in front of Kip. Obviously, Kip's the hot hand right now. You know, she can do different things with that ball. She just tried to roll shot it. Unfortunate for her. She has other shots in her arsenal that she can use.
Minor sets. Francis on the left side. Now Samity will try as Baird digs. And Francis, another swing, but she misses.
Yeah, big swing by Sammy Francis. You can tell she's trying to be aggressive and trying to go for it and trying to get her team riled up and rallied and ready to go. Unfortunate that she hits it long there. Important that she comes back after it, though, next point.
Schaffmaster serving. One almost drops in. Francis tries. Now Huseman will set for Miyabe. And there's Kip. What a swing.
Woo! Yikes. Oh, my goodness. What a swing by Kendall Kip. You know, this is a really cool match because we are seeing some really talented right side hitters here in Samity and in Kip. Both of them are really fantastic. And Kip, again, taking care of business. Miyabe gave her too much line, and you can't do that with Kendall Kip. She's going to take advantage of that.
Kendall Kip leading Stanford right now with 12 kills. Had 20 last night. Samity swings. Kip with the block.
Kendall Kip is single-handedly trying to bring her team back into this set and back into this match. What a block. Samity, you could tell, tried to really go for it there, and Kip puts up a beautiful block and pushes right back. Samity, that's a big error for Samity. She hit right down into the belly of the block, of a big block that was in front of her. Stanford, good job putting up a nice block.
Schaffmaster over to Miyabe. Miyabe drops it in.
And Heidi Miyabe, Old Faithful, you know, like she just comes up when you need her to, and that has kind of been her story, and probably why the fans, she's such a fan favorite, is Heidi just seems to come up at the point when they need it.
Miyabe now in double digits, with 10 kills. 15-11 Gopher lead. Kipp again.
And you see there, Kendall Kipp, I mean, so Cami Miner doing a nice job, puts it to the middle, then back to Kipp. Got to go back to the steady hand right here, the hot hand. But Jenna Winnes comes away from that saying, I got that, I got that. She is a good left side blocker. We'll see, you know, if she can nab Kendall Kipp at all in this match.
Schaffmaster keeps it alive as Winnes just sends it over. Stanford looking to get within 2, but Winnes blocks it.
Great. I just mentioned Jenna Winnes being a good left side blocker. She certainly is. And it's interesting, Stanford and Cami Miner keeps Campbell in close to her like that. You know, sometimes that can be really effective if you've got a spread out block, but here where Winnes is bunched in, she's standing there waiting for it. I think Stanford needs to run that wider slide if they really want to be effective.
Kipp from the back row. That time Katie Myers in the middle.
Yeah, good job by Katie Myers and Jenna Winnes. And you can see, again, I mentioned that bunch block, so they're both in there. And Kipp doing a really good job of being aggressive. She's going to make an error here or there. Katie Myers just able to penetrate over and kind of ball into the net.
Lead up to 5 for the Gophers. Francis tries. Now Samity will. Tip shot. Drops in.
Stephanie Samity is always looking to use all shots available to her. So she will just rip one, and then she will kind of give you an off-speed shot that you're just not waiting for, or she'll put it in a place that you're not expecting on the court. This one, no different. Just an off-speed shot, kind of grabs it. Baird is there, but just can't quite handle it.
So Minnesota right now on a 3-0 scoring run. Kevin Hambley takes a timeout. And for Stanford right now, down 6. This is a must-win set. What do you think is going to happen here as they come out? How are they going to try to get back into it, Meredith?
I mean, honestly, their backs are against the wall in a big way here. It is indeed do or die time, and I here, you know, as a spectator and maybe as a former player, you can kind of see what a team is willing to do or not willing to do to get into a match. And this team, this Stanford team, they just don't look like they're really willing to dig deep and get after it and get into the pain cave and go, right? And I think that is, maybe it's a mark of a young team, maybe it's just not their MO, but I don't see them really buckling down and getting after it. You see it here and there, and that's what I would expect them to capitalize on.
And really, I mean, this environment, it's really loud in here right now. Fans starting to sense that their team might be moving on, going to the Sweet 16, but you're right, they're going to really have to dig deep. I mean, it seemed like set number 1 to me, that was the best set for Stanford so far. They lost 25-20, but the match really, or the set, never really got away from them. The last two kind of have in the middle.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and I don't know, you know, that's, you know, a team that played really well. They played well in the first set. They lost 25-20, but it's not like they played poorly. They have played poorly since then, and I don't know if they just felt defeated coming out of the gate or if they're just out of sorts because they're not getting the production out of the players they normally get production out of, or what.
So Kilkelly serves, 18-12, Gopher lead. Kipp swings, but too far, and actually catches the line judge.
Yeah, line judge defends herself quite well there, and Kipp probably saying, whoops, sorry, but you can see there she almost had it. She had a one-on-one, just a little deep.
That might have hurt a little bit.
Yeah. You don't admit it, though, right? When it hits you, don't admit that it hurt.
So here's Winnes, and just what a nice shot by Jenna Winnes.
Classic left side kind of junk ball. I'm just going to push it deep. There's not going to be a defender there. You can totally tell that Kipp is kind of up waiting for the short tip, and Ogilvy nowhere to be found there.
Ball rolls out onto the floor. Kilkelly serving. Talked a little bit about her, but she's been fantastic for the Gophers tonight, but Kipp now is 14.
Yeah, there we go. Kendall Kipp getting back into it now, doing a good job. Katie Myers almost had her hand on it. She's kind of diving in there. It's interesting. I would expect Myers to maybe push over a little bit more. You can see her left hands are kind of leaning left, and Kipp definitely shows favor in hitting to this left back corner.
Stanford down 7 here in set number 3. Samity swings, Stanford can't hang out.
Yeah, Luge was just back on her heels there, waiting for the deep, hard ball, and then Samity just catches her right off guard.
So 21-13. There's Samity back to serve. Minor sets, Campbell on the slide. Nice swing by Holly Campbell.
Great swing by Holly Campbell, the senior for the Stanford Cardinal. You know, she's definitely doesn't want her season to end right now, and so, or her career to end. And so she's really going to swing hard there. A diving Minnesota block, not a very well-formed block there. I also like that Campbell slide was further out, wasn't so tight into the setter there.
A tough service error for Stanford there from. Is that Bevan or Luge?
Yeah, Eleanor Bevan. It was actually her 3rd service error of the match, so a bit unusual there.
So Minnesota 3 points away from advancing to the Sweet 16. Minor sets. Kilkelly keeps it in play. Samity swings. Baird on the left side. Kilkelly over the net. But they are going to rule that the ball hit the ground.
Yeah, the ball did hit the ground, and you could see Kevin Hambley walking away from the sideline over to his challenge card. He was going to challenge that thing right away, and it would have been a good challenge because that ball was indeed down. Katie Baird, continue to work. She's got to keep swinging away. That was a good one.
Minor serves. Kilkelly receives it. Here's Samity from the back row, smashes it home.
Great job by Stephanie Samity to take advantage of a seam there between Vicini and Baird. And, you know, that is classic Stephanie Samity. She's going to find the opening and take advantage of the opening and off Vicini's left hand as she's diving out there.
Gophers now within 2 as they're up 8. Katie Myers, the middle, serving. Luge receives it. Minor will set. Here's Baird on the left side. Schaffmaster over to Miyabe. Nice dig from Luge in the back row. Baird will try again. Baird gets it down.
There we go. Katie Baird there. She's working her way back into it. Important for her to do so. She doesn't have much time left. And sometimes Schaffmaster's tall. She puts up a big block, but sometimes her hands are weak, and you can see she was kind of caught outside trying to dive back in. Weak right hand. Katie Baird took advantage of it.
So Baird will go back to serve. Schaffmaster sets Samity. Kilkelly plays the overpass, as Schaffmaster just has to send it back. Now Kip from the right side. Kip will try again. This off the hands of Miyabe. Stanford gets the ball.
Miyabe needs to be a little bit more prepared for that. Obviously, Kip is a hot hand right now, and she was caught inside. And obviously, lots of broken plays, lots of stuff going on, but caught inside and diving out, that's not a recipe for success against Kendall Kip.
Stanford now down 6. Do or die situation. Baird serves. Miyabe swings. Miyabe gets it down.
Wow, what a swing. I thought that was going to be out. She had a lot of line available to her, but she certainly went after it and smacked it down hard. Especially Heidi Miyabe's been receiving a lot of serves tonight. So good for her to get back into it and swing away.
Gophers trying to move on to the Sweet 16. Crowd on their feet. Schaffmaster serves. Ogilvie tries to receive. Now Ogilvie will send it back over. Schaffmaster will set to Stephanie Samity. Stanford able to hang on. Here's Kip from the right side. Jenna Wennis able to keep it in play. And the Gophers advance to the Sweet 16.
Really, really good job by Minnesota. They showed a very strong match tonight. Last night they won, but they didn't play super clean. Tonight they did a really, really good job of staying disciplined, of playing their game, of distributing it to all their strong hitters. A really nice win by Minnesota and earns them a trip to the Sweet 16.
So Minnesota back to the Sweet 16. They defeat Stanford 3-0. We'll be right back with a player interview here on ESPN+.
I'm here with Jenna Wennis from the victorious Minnesota Golden Gophers. Jenna, congratulations on advancing to the round of 16. It's the first time the Golden Gophers have swept the Stanford Cardinal in program history. What does this mean to you and your team?
You know, it means a lot. It gave us a lot of momentum. We played great. We were in control the whole time, so I think it just really sets us up good for the Sweet 16.
You yourself had an exceptional game, registering 14 kills. What was the key to success for you today?
I mean, Melanie was dishing me great sets. Rachel was throwing up the nice out-of-system sets that I had time to get to, and so I think just our defense combined with our passing and the setting just allowed me to be successful.
Next up, you'll face the number 5 Baylor Bears. What are your thoughts about facing them next weekend?
Yeah, it's a rematch in the exact same spot where we started this season. I know we can get them. I know we're capable, and if we work hard, I have a good feeling.
Thank you very much, Jenna. Good luck in the round of 16. Back to you guys in the booth.